So, your writing projects are described in brief here. You will write 3 projects this semester. Writing project 1 will be due in week 6. It is a memo, and it will define your topic and either describe it. If you're an engineering or technology major, you'll be describing an object. Or it will explain the procedure, and this is for all other majors. And most of what you need to know about preparing for this memo is going to be by reading 5 and 6. All students should read chapters 5 and 6. Engineering and technology majors should read chapter 7 in your book, and all other majors should read chapter 8. So you're going to write a memo, and it will be at a level of technical writing. It should be researched a bit. You should write it and sound like a professional in your field. But it'll be sort of in brief. And that memo, by the way, if you're pretty satisfied with your topic, it's a topic that you'll be able to carry through the entire semester, by the way. Okay, writing project 2 is due in week 12, and that's a white paper. And in order to prepare yourself for that, you can review chapters 9 through 12 in the book, and chapter 12 in particular talks about white papers. Writing project 3 is a feasibility study. That's going to be due at the end of the semester, and again, the information on that. You can prepare yourself well for it by reading, again, chapters 9 through 12, and especially chapter 11, which talks about this type of writing, feasibility study. So you will read about these technical writing genres in your textbook. The final versions of your projects will be submitted as PDFs in Canvas, and this is a nice long note about how to use Canvas, how the Turnitin.com program is going to help us, and you'll be invited to submit work early enough so that you can test what you have against Turnitin.com and make revisions, which is a pretty good idea. It can help you work on your paraphrasing skills, and I like to use it that way especially to help students work on that, because paraphrasing is essential to most of the writing that, well, actually all of the writing that all of you are going to be doing in your careers. Okay, let's see. So writing project 1 in particular, your writing persona. This is who you are. Write as yourself, as if you were employed in your field with your bachelor's degree and having either 2 or 3 years of experience after graduation. 2 or 3 years of experience working in your field. So you potentially, what shall we say, some of you maybe 3 years from now, some of you maybe 5 years from now. Write as yourself with a job title that is appropriate to your level of qualifications and experience. So what would your job level be with a bachelor's degree and 2 or 3 years of work experience? What's an appropriate job title for that level of qualifications? And write as yourself for this project, having been asked by your manager or your supervisor to write this report for your organization. So this is for internal use. It's for your coworkers and your manager. The genre is memo, and this is going to be a memo with a definition and a description if you're an engineering and technology major. These are very heavily applications-oriented fields, and these people do build things on AutoCAD and make blow-up charts of parts and whatnot. So definition and description is very, very appropriate to these fields because they have the technical skill for that sort of thing. And everybody else is going to be a definition with a procedure, because everybody else does procedures all of the time. Procedures, you can think of it this way very informally. An example you're all accustomed to is perhaps watching a cooking show. And the procedure might be how to make French toast. So the procedure involves cracking eggs and whisking them and turning on the stovetop to heat up the pan, and so forth. Procedures always have steps. We do one thing first, and then another thing, and then another thing. I think your book refers to them as stages. And so everybody, actually even the engineering and technology majors, can talk about procedures at a technical level. But all majors will be able to do that. So that is what you'll be interested in. Scope and requirements, about 1,000 words. What is this? 3-4 pages. Fine descriptive detail is expected. If I cannot visualize your description or procedure on the basis of your details, then you did not do this job. You cannot rely on what your reader already knows or thinks or understands. That's not technical writing. Technical writing is beginning with the assumption that you need to be extremely accurate in your writing so that your audience, who does not know what you have to say, they need a very thorough explanation, very fine details. Logical organization, those of you who will describe objects are likely to use spatial organization, which can be large details to fine details, the outside of the object to the inside of the object, the top of the object to the bottom of the object. There are various ways of describing spatial organization. So do what is appropriate in your field. Those of you who are to describe a procedure have only one logical way. You begin with the first stage of the procedure and you move sequentially to the last stage of the procedure. My example is making a sandwich. You can only do it if you first take the bread out of the bag and lay 2 slices flat. If you do it some other way, you will have peanut butter on your plastic bag. It won't work, right? Procedures must begin with one stage and then follow to another. I will require that you have at least 3 sources cited in text in APA style. Now, these 3 sources, they should probably be trade journals. They can, though, at least one of them. It could be one of your professor's lectures that gave you a good bit of information about your topic. So you could cite a professor by name, the date of the lecture, the name of the class, that sort of thing in your APA. You're going to need a references page. The purpose is to explain to your employer and coworkers the function of the object or the procedure, how they should be able to identify it, how they should be able to visualize it working, or you working. Make a recommendation about it for your organization, give readers a clear image and understanding of the object or the procedure, but also lead them well into understanding why you do recommend it or do not recommend it. Suggestions for good writing practice: make the definition very precise, including more ways of defining, and so forth. Well, you can read the rest of it. Okay, so you want to begin on this right away. This one's due in week 6, beginning of week 6. So start doing your research and brainstorming. Good luck.